Greetings, smoothskins! I am going to demonstrate a conclusive, crucial crash course to Fallout's fabulous, fantastic, yet unbending and unique universe in just about 12 minutes. This will go fast, so try to keep up. Fallout is an open-world RPG shooter now owned by Bethesda, but you already knew that, so what the fuck happened in it? It's an alternative 1950s-style universe that takes place from 2077 and forward. That date is important because on Saturday of August 23rd, 2077, humanity dropped the bomb on itself and there was an all-out nuclear war. We don't know who dropped the first bomb, so you can blame any nation that resonates with you the most. Either who, all is not lost, because we can always trust the good people at Vault-Tec to save the day. The people at Vault-Tec provided big nuclear-safe underground bunkers, or vaults if you will, to the population, provided you signed up for them yourself. With a population of 400 million in the US, there was need for about 400,000 vaults the size of Vault 13. However, only 122 considerably smaller vaults were ever constructed. On the surface, they were designed to provide a stable society, being able to form within its own walls. Food, water, sometimes musical instruments, cloning machines, and panthers were all provided. It turned out that Vault-Tec never expected bombs to drop to begin with, and many vaults were designed for nasty experiments that were performed on its own inhabitants, also known as vault dwellers. So who wanted these experiments to be done to begin with? The people who were chosen to represent the people by the people. The government. Fast forwarding now some years after the bombs fell, some people were indeed saved by the vaults. Ball caps is the new standard currency because reasons. The government is still active and is now known as the Enclave. The Enclave are still up to no good, starting trouble in irradiated neighborhoods, and the latest big achievement the government accomplished was infecting many of its own American citizens with FEV, the Forced Evolutionary Virus. What did they expect these experiments would accomplish? The story here is fuzzy. It is claimed they wanted to find an evolutionary benefit that hopefully humanity could use, but it is more likely that they wanted to rid the Wasteland of what the Enclave deemed to be impure and mutated forms of humanity. So what did it accomplish? Super mutants. Big, burly, strong, and infertile. There are two main generations of super mutants, the ones that were carefully selected to be infected with FEV and have shown intelligence, sometimes even civility, and other generations that are just simple-minded murder machines. Although they are capable of speech and sometimes even reasoning, it's generally better that you shoot first, hit the carcass with a sledgehammer a few times and ask questions later. There were several other abominations caused by experiments such as these, such as the centaurs and the trogs, because humanity cannot do enough experiments with no objective good outcome in mind. They just keep piling on. Some people within the organization weren't as evil to the bone, however, so they decided to split from the government and form the Brotherhood of Steel. Much like the Enclave, they are about technology and research, wishing to find as much as they can, so that they can preserve it. Their main base is located within the broken walls of the Pentagon, where they're busy designing super robots and whatnot. But they also do trivial things they believe to be as important, such as defending a radio station called Galaxy News Radio. Fallout 4 takes place in 2277, 200 years after the bombs fell, and it also happens to be the time that Fallout 3 takes place. Which is why we will most likely hear the broadcast of Three Dog, Galaxy News Radio host, over in Boston as well. However, some people within the Brotherhood felt that defending Three Dog shouldn't be their main priority. This group left the Brotherhood to call themselves Brotherhood Outcasts, and they attribute their departure to the belief that Elder Lions had lost sight of the Brotherhood's true mission and the original reason for their presence in the capital Wasteland, the recovery and preservation of advanced pre-war technology. The Institute is another faction that is very focused on technology. However, they seem to focus on the creation of androids. They are located in the last of the 13 Commonwealths, where Fallout 4 will take place. Sadly enough, the area around the Institute is described as basically fucked, bro, and no one is safe out in the Wasteland. If you're a bad person, people like the Regulators might track you down and put an end to your terror. And if you're Jesus 2.0, people like the Talon Company is here to fuck your day up and keep the Wasteland in chaos. Whereas the Regulator seems to perform their services out of a sense of justice. Nobody knows who finances the Talon Company, since they are paid by an unknown third party. It seems some people just want to watch the world burn. The rest of the Wasteland is overflowing with similar chaos all over. When a new society comes up, the strong will survive and the meek shall be slaughtered. Or sold. Slavers are very common within the Wasteland and have their own little towns and societies. And if you're running a society, you can be sure groups of raiders will come knocking on your door, asking the little piggies to hand over whatever they still hold dear. If you aren't one of these mentioned groups, you're most likely a trader, child, farmer, gun for hire, private business owner, or dead. Speaking of dead, ghouls inhabit the Wasteland and because of their unpleasant appearance are treated as third-class citizens. Sadly enough, they are human too. They simply took too much radiation and didn't have the fortune to die from it. They are left as husks of the person that they once were, but are as intelligent as they were before their ghoulification. Some are even more unfortunate though, and end up losing their minds completely. We call these beings feral ghouls. Both of these ghoul types comes from the time of the Great War, but now they have the added benefits of living for very long periods of time and getting healed by radiation. People are extremely racist against ghouls because of their less mentally stable counterparts. Where some ghouls are known to set up shop, the only thing feral ghouls are known for is trying to rip off your face on sight. Speaking of radiation, it has naturally affected all flora and fauna in the Wasteland, but not everything in it is dangerous. There are still less violent beings around, such as Brahmins, used mainly as caravans for traders, milk and meat. Dogs, faithful loyal companions to the survivors in the Wasteland, and birds, who mainly just are tossing about. Whereas most of the less violent types won't cause a hassle, Brahmins are known to go mad, dogs tend to bite, and birds are most likely trying to take a sneaky shit on your head. Everything else in the wilderness is out to fucking kill you. This list includes rad scorpions, rad roaches, giant ants, giant fire-breathing ants, bloatflies, mole rats, yao guai, don't ask me, and deathclaws, also known as bipedal you're royally fucked now biological murder machines. Oh, and of course these things were created by the Enclave. There basically is no save zones in the universe of Fallout today, because Bethesda has even canonized aliens with their Mothership Zeta DLC for Fallout 3, and E.T. and his friends are also out to fucking kill you. Apart from also adding talking toasters with the previously mentioned DLC, one cannot talk about Fallout without mentioning its technology. As impressive as it is, in Fallout's universe they never managed to invent silicon-based computer chips, which is very common in our modern-day technology. This leaves things like computer terminals and holotapes having a very old-school look to them. And it also leaves the legendary Pip-Boy as the world's best smartwatch. The Pip-Boy isn't just your stat screen and general menus, it also enables Vault-Tec Assisted Targeting System, or VATS for short. This allows you to take a very standard RPG approach to a combat situation. When aiming in VATS with guns, plasma, laser pistols and rifles, you also use your scoped nuke shooting shotgun or whatever the hell this is. And you can most likely craft this yourself. You will be forced to fight other technology with your weaponry such as iBots, Protectrons, Robobrains, Sentrybots, Mr. Handies, and possibly AIs, like the President of the United States, the leader of the Enclave, John Henry Eden. Yep, he's a robot. Technology doesn't stop at just your arsenal though. A good defense is the best offense, and that comes to life with the power armor. If you're not satisfied enough with just having a big metal suit around you, people are known to replace limbs and organs with artificial replacements, calling themselves cyborgs. But why stop there? The Institute is known for producing fully synthesized people, or androids if you will. These robots have artificial blood, limbs, organs, and can even digest food and sleep. Some of them might not even know they are replicated men to begin with. It is also known that some androids consider themselves equal to the people that made them, something the Institute fundamentally disagrees with. These androids are known to flee the Commonwealth, and some groups of people are hired to track these missing androids down, and other groups are even known to help these robots escape and staying on the run. And maybe the pinnacle achievement of human technology is the Garden of Eden Creation Kit, or GE.C.K for short. It is a matter energy replicator and a miraculous terraforming device, transferring an area into energy and then reforming it according to a certain molecular pattern. It was made by Vault-Tec to give life back to the barren wasteland after a nuclear war. Now, let's take a look at the summary of the main stories in the previous games. In Fallout 1, you're being sent off from Vault 13 into the Wasteland to search for warships, because the water filtration system inside your own vault is failing, and there isn't any warships in storage to fix it. This eventually leads the Vault Dweller to the destruction of the Master's fortress and the demise of the Master's mutant army. The Vault Dweller isn't allowed back into Vault 13 even after his accomplishments, since the Overseer of the Vault think he has been away for too long, and the Vault Dweller decides to live out his life in the Wasteland. In Fallout 2, you are the Chosen One, the grandchild of the Vault Dweller from Vault 13. You're picked by your village to venture out into the Wasteland in search for the Holy GE.C.K, to help your village survive through one of the worst droughts it has ever seen. This eventually leads to the Chosen One to find a GE.C.K and take down the Enclave's headquarters. In Fallout 3, the Lone Wanderer tries to find his or her father, James Liam Dabson, who escaped from their home of Vault 101. As you search for him, you learn that your dad's life work, Project Purification, was a machine designed to purify and cleanse the waters of the capital Wasteland, so that it can become drinkable. This eventually leads to the Lone Wanderer to find a G.E.C.K, and activating the machine, giving the Wasteland a constant source of clean water. In Fallout New Vegas, the courier is asked to deliver a platinum ship to the ruler of New Vegas, Mr. House. You later find out that the Hoover Dam is being fought over by two factions for its control, and the platinum ship you carry is a key part in turning the dam operational for electricity. This eventually brings the courier to take a stand in the question of who gets to take control of the dam, the NCR, the Legion, Mr. House, or an independent New Vegas. In Fallout 4, the survivor awakens after 200 years of cryosleep and... well, we don't know yet. But let's face it, it's going to revolve around a G.E.C.K and something about water, and you're going to be an android because you were made by your son Sean, who, it turns out, founded the Institute and created the android technology just to be able to preserve the living memory of you, just so we can go, "Ah, what a twist!" at the ending. I'm calling it. And that is actually all you need to know about the franchise before playing Fallout 4. My name has been Hankshaw, and thank you very much for watching. Until next time.